Okay, questions?
I'm Mike Dugan. I've known Dr. Kamal Mohammed for just, almost 20 years, since he was a resident at Harbor UCLA. And as you can imagine, I'm a fellow pathologist. I was helping at the time teaching the residents because they were down one teacher who was sick with colon cancer, by I believe at the time. And, it's just so obvious, he's just such an incredibly brilliant guy, one of the best colleagues I've ever had to work with, and just so fun to talk to. But early in your career, Mohammed, you had a major setback, which you alluded to with the dyslexia, that you had trouble passing a critical exam. And I wondered if you could talk about how that shaped and influenced your career, because it made you take a major detour in what would be an otherwise straightforward path towards pathology. And you didn't really touch on that too much, but if you could, just how it influenced you.
This is really a remarkable turn, because what happened is that I had to pass a licensing exam, and I had to pass it before I start my third year of residency. So I didn't pass it, and I was out of the residency program. And the physicians, it's not really easy to be in and out of residency. I mean, you lose your spot, you may never get it again. So I was out, and then I had to take time to study, and then I had to get a job. So I ended up working in a medical device company, and that job allowed me to open a new frontier for pathology, because this particular medical device company was doing implantable devices where they do preclinical testing and they do pathology. And I just happened to be there saying, hey, I know pathology, and I had, from my research before pathology, some medical device experience. I was a perfect fit. But what was really interesting about that is that this year that I took off, I ended up, it delayed my graduation from the residency. When it was time for me to apply for fellowship, the fellowship I was interested in was the GI liver pathology at UCLA. And had I been applying for this residency a year early, there was no chance I was going to get it, because the two candidates that were in that position were extremely good candidates internally from UCLA, and they were going to take them. So had I not, and of course I had no idea that this is happening. So that 1 year delay, it turns out that the competition was not as tough. and I got in, and it was just a mere chance. But the year that I was out, I was able to learn a few skills, and it helped me. In fact, Omnipathology as a corporation was founded so that I could provide consultation to medical device companies after I went back to pathology. And during my training, I was consulting. So I was actually one of the very few pathology residents and fellows that I was providing consultation to medical device companies while I was still in training. So that was something, it was great. But again, I mean, the thing about it was the testing struggles. What did I do? I think for me personally, I can tell you that the way I went through this, of course, with Omnia support, that's like no question about that, but also I tend to always try not to doubt myself. I always want to keep my self-confidence up, and everything, even if something bad happens, I try to always push myself and know that there is something good that could happen, come out of any bad situation, and that's a good example. But I was really lucky more than anything else.